All right, Shalom Yashala. Call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Wahara Kakwadash Brakathum. I like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Akion pushing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Akwat out there listening. Okay, so as we know, the flavor of the month, but as better stated, prophecy, this, the flavor of prophecy, is what's popping, man. It ain't no secret, you know, it's just beautifully stated, man, through prophecy, man. And I gotta say it once again, call halal Yahweh Bashim Yashah. Okay. And that means all praises to the Heavenly Father and to the Son, man. Because these things are coming to pass. This ain't no, once again, people, the Bible has great stories, this and that. Hey, well, them great stories is turning out to be 100% reality, man. Okay, with prophecy. I know you had your allegory and so forth, and your examples, your symbolic and parabolic, but guess what? These words these words are jumping off the page and jumping into action. Okay, this is Matthew chapter 24 verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Okay, what's the current conflict that we have now? It's not Venezuela. The U.S. had that conflict in at the end of so-called last year, around October, with with um with Maduro, when they had him removed, right? We seen what they did with them, and hey, they happen to be what, I believe they have the largest oil reserves in the world. I believe, I think they're number one, but it's becoming more and more evident, man. And now what's the current conflict you had of because matter of fact, let me roll back a little. Let's go back to what's that, 2022. I believe it was 2022, with the beginning of the Ukraine and Russia ordeal, right? 2022, 2023, Ukraine and Russia and so forth, and now things are picking up. You had issues with the EU and the US, so a lot of things are picking up steam, man. Okay, and guess what? It's gonna continue to be more conflict. Now, the current conflict is who? U.S. and Israel sending airstrikes to Iran, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Iran. So they say it's tough, because you got you got a lot of propaganda in there too. But for the most part, this is a serious, still a serious matter. You know, and then it's also to the point, they telling you straight to your face, hey, nigga, we bombing on y'all first. And what? Is really what they showing you. Okay, because you have the airstrikes led by it's that US and Israel, right, on Iran. And I believe they say Iran struck US embassy in Saudi, right? And Saudi Arabia has what? They have a I guess a fairly decent balanced relationship with the US, thus far, you know. But we all know how that's gonna turn out according, to prophecy, right? You know. But before I look up the other incident with Saudi, I did want to make mention of this. Okay, let me reread. I'm gonna read verse 6, all of that. Then I'm gonna get the officials that were killed from Iran. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, we're getting very close, as you can see. It's heavy, man. And call halal Yahbashim Yashah, what a time to be alive, right? So I'm gonna read this. It's from Google. Everything's AI, so but it's just like letting you know like the accuracy of the current events, right? So it says as of early March 2026, numerous top Iranian officials, including Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, have been killed in coordinated military strikes by the United States and Israel. Reports indicate over 40 senior security and regime figures died, with an interim council now governing. That's heavy, man. And now they have the key officials, right? The key officials killed include Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Khamenei, supreme leader of Iran. Okay, got him out the way. Ali Shamkhani, former head of National Defense Council. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was the he was like an advisor, I believe, to the Ayatollah, right? Then you have Mohammed Pakpour, commander of IRGC. Okay, Aziz Nazirzadeh, the defense minister. Abdulrahim Masouvi, chief of staff of the Iranian armed forces. Saeed Majid Masouvi, commander of the IRGC Aerospace Force. And last but not least, Mohammed Shirazi, head of the military office of the Supreme Leader. Now these are, bro, those wasn't no weak ass frontline soldiers first year, bro. These were, men of rank, men of held in high regard, bro, of their military. They're mighty men. Okay, that's not a light thing, you know. And matter of fact, I want to get that acronym for the IRGC. It's Islamic Revolutionary Salakia. It's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Okay. So that's in there. So they're gonna make they're gonna make that an issue with their Islamic beliefs and so forth. You know what anything they could use to justify the war that's being had, which is just another which is just another showing that World War III is has already popped off. Okay, it has already popped off. Okay, verse 7: For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Okay, are we not seeing this? Are we not seeing inflation? Right, we're seeing you know something interesting with the housing. you know a lot of it's going down, but it's crazy because what, it also got to a point where people had no choice but to move out of their homes, right? People catching hell with property taxes, people catching hell with health issues, a lot of heart related issues, and we know where that stems from. Okay, we really know where that stems from, right? But you have all this war going on, man, and it's not a light thing, man. Those were seven prominent men, from the leader of Iran to the military force to the defense national defense council. So now they got people, of course you're supposed to have people, supposed to come in their stead, but come on, man. Like they knew what they were doing with that, man. As a matter of fact, bear me, Baba Kusha. I want to get something else if y'all could bear me. And then once again, we got to keep in mind that the U.S. has always had an issue, along with Israel, has always had an issue with the nuclear program that Iran has. Like like what sense does that make? You know, basically, if you're not an asset to Babylon the Great, and you could be a threat, they're gonna do their best to dismantle you, man. To drag your name through the mud, to really assassinate your character, man. You know, and then hey, and let's make no mistake, we understand these other countries, these other nations have corruption, and some people live there. Hey, fair enough, right? But then it's kind of like you have those coons from other nations who, oh, I'm so glad they took them out, this and that, and so forth. Hey, because you believe Esau's ice is colder, man. You believe his ice is colder, so you're gonna rock with him, man. Okay, so those are the key reasons. Is like destroying their military infrastructure, preventing nuclear capability. Okay, like so I got to put my weapons up to keep me from protecting myself. But we see how the Most High is working, because once again, I think I made mention of that earlier. Let me get that Salakia. Yeah, so they're saying already Iranian drone strikes U.S. embassy in Saudi Arabia. Okay. Then I seen another video says one of the people from Iran who's in the state now said that wasn't them who attacked, but anything, at this point nothing is surprising, man. In Babylon, man, you know, they give us tidbits, but we got to make sure that to spit out the bones, right? And it says, this is from BBC.com. U.S. and Israel bomb Iran for fourth day as Trump says air defense is gone. Iran is responding to the strikes by launching missile and drone attacks on Israel and Gulf states hosting U.S. bases. So that's where you get that bombing, that airstrike today at us in Saudi Arabia. But hey, but this is all prophecy, right? Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay? So, because like I may mention, you have the housing now the housing market, it's a good time to buy a home. But a few months ago, hey, the housing crisis was outrageous. People was getting priced out. People having to change their lifestyle. Guess what? That's still going to continue. I don't care how low, how much they try to so-called put the temporary band-aid on things. People's livelihoods are already jacked up. There's no bouncing back for Babylon the Great. Okay? So I wanted to make that very clear, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah, of course. You get and this is E. This is E all day, man. Okay, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. Okay? He can't keep at home. Okay? Who enlargeth his desire as hell. That's and we know what? That's the ground is deep. The ground is deep. So that's how he's trying to enlarge. This is ease. This is his genetic makeup. This is his spirit, man. Okay. You don't play by his rules. Hey, guess what? Off you go. And whoever riding with him, he gonna make it look good for the time being until until it's time for him to apply that knife in their back. so forth. Okay, let me reread that again. Verse 5. Ye also, because he transgresseth by wine, okay? And that transgresseth by wine is what? BS philosophies and ideologies, on their like E has the which, hey, he has the upper hand for the time being. Why? Because the Lord put him in that position. Okay. So that transgressive by wine is ideologies, philosophies, and then the moral compass that that the Lord so graciously letting you have control for a small season, man. And that Salaki, that short season. Okay, and that short season is about up. Okay. Still got a little slight, but we're almost home, I count. This thing has a snow through the spirit. It has a snowball effect. So things are going to continue to get heating up. Since Trump got elected, there has not been a day of rest. Okay. So let me continue reading again. Matter of fact, let me reread that in its entirety. Back in verse 5, back in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also, because he transgresseth by wine, Salakia. He is a proud man, which we know, right? Neither keepeth at home. It's like, bro, it's really unnecessary at this point, because we remember, what's that? Ahmadinejad, Ahmadinejad, I think the president, used to be over Iran, you know. I used to try to, shake him down for, nah, you can't have this and that. Wow, so y'all could do shit like this? Like, nah, hey, I got to do what I got to do for my land, but he doesn't see it that way, man. Okay? Let me continue reading. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay? Has he not done that with who? He's done that with he's trying to do that with Greenland. He's done it with Venezuela. They setting up coups, they setting up other presidents. They did it with Haiti. That they're going to continue to do this with other nations until these other nations are going to stop, like that I forgot who sang that song, that we're not gonna take it. Hey, these other nations are watching, man. That's why these other nations are telling people, hey, you get the hell out, or you want to play by them rules. Look, we can play by them rules too. So because the Lord is putting the spirit on these people. The Lord has a spirit on E, and the Lord's putting the spirit on these other nations to, like, man, we ain't gonna take this no more, man. But E is doing what the Lord is allowing him to get away with for the time being. Okay? So make no mistakes about that. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay, that's what we're seeing right now, man. Okay, so that's what we're seeing. People seeing it's escalating, which is beautiful because it's according to what? It's according to prophecy through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai. So this will continue. Okay, this once again, this is not a light thing. Okay. So the Most High is moving. Okay, he's moving through the spirit, and prophecy once again is jumping off the page, man. Okay, so that's all I have on this. I just want to touch on that. That these things are heating up through the spirit and prophecy of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, man, and will continue. And call halal Yahweh Bashem Yashai for that. So once again, with that, I hope this is edifying for the body. So once again, call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Wahara Kodash Brakathum. Once again, I'd like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Achaim, pushing the truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Aqua out there listening. Shalom.